Good evening. This is a regular meeting of the Molalla City Council for April 8th, 2026. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to remind all participants, including staff, elected officials, and members of the public, that Robert's Rules of Order will be enforced in this meeting. We welcome your opinions and look forward to your polite participation. Audience members, we request that you silence your cell phones and not conduct side conversations during the meeting. Thank you. Up next, we'll start with the roll call, beginning with Councilor Basinius.
Councilor Basinius, present.
Councilor Bartholomew, present.
Council President Vermillion, present.
Mayor Kaiser, present.
Councilor Schenkel, present.
Councilor Gilmer, present.
Dan Huff, City Manager, present.
City Recorder Christy Teets, present.
Cindy Sharon, Finance Director, present.
Clarissa Davis, Associate Planner, present.
Matt Corthell, Assistant City Manager, present.
All right, and Councilor Childress will be here shortly. Is there any changes to the agenda tonight? All right. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda bleh. May I have a motion?
I make
Things
a
are a little
motion.
bit different here.
Should we just do it?
Are there any changes? Yes. Yeah. Go to consent agenda. Okay, sorry, there was some different lines there. It caught me off guard. Consent.
Keeping you on your toes, Mayor.
Huh?
I gotta keep you on your toes.
You did. You got me. We'll do consent agenda consisting of council meeting minutes for March 25th, 2026, and a OLCC license request. I hope I don't tear this name up. Solely Saber. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I move to present.
Not just me.
Man, now how did I get crossed up? I didn't even know what I was supposed to say. I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second it.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Christy, will you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Councilor Gilmer.
Aye.
Councilor Schenkel.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Councilor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Councilor Basinius.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 6-0.
All right, we'll move to public comment. Citizens are allowed up to 3 minutes to present information relevant to the city, but not listed as an item on the agenda. Prior to speaking, citizens shall complete a comment form and deliver it to the city recorder. The city council does not generally engage in dialogue with those making comments, but may refer the issue to the city manager. Complaints should first be addressed at the department level prior to addressing the city council. And we have one comment form from Mr. Brian Rierick. If you'd come up and give us your name and city you reside in, please.
Hi, my name is Brian Rierick. I reside at 14289 South Vaughan Road, just outside the city. I'm here today to hopefully get you guys acquainted with an affordable housing project that I plan on doing just outside your urban growth boundary currently on the corner of Molalla Ave and Warwick Road and Molalla River Road. It's going to have around 300 housing units. It will be accessible at all of the income brackets. There will be for sale units, not rented out units. There'll be a 6-acre mixed-use commercial area that will have housing upstairs and commercial commerce downstairs. Yeah, so I was told that this is the best place to get it out there. There are people to the south that want to expand. I'm pretty much within 1,000 feet of all of the services necessary, and am currently working with your city to try to find out how the sewer capacity and other parts of the development phases will work out, shake out, and sidewalks, things like that. So that's kind of it for me.
Okay.
I obviously have all kinds of paperwork if anybody would be interested in show it, but I know that some of this has to go through proper channels and didn't want to muddy the waters anywhere, so this is basically my first presentation.
Perfect. Sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I was gonna say, Mr. Rick, if you wanna send me what you've got, I can get it out to the council and get it in the packet and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
The things that you want folks to see. And then I just wanted to let the council know that we've been talking to Mr. Rick. He's been very much involved in the UGB process, has been kind of an advocate for us on the Greater Molalla planning group that has come in and spoken to you on a couple of occasions. And he owns some property south of town, but adjacent, literally touching the border of town, that he's very, very interested in having brought in. So I wanted to make sure that he came to you directly to let you guys know that, 'cause it's really not my place to do that. And so that you guys would be aware that there are, in fact, some folks who are not only a little bit interested, but very interested in the areas to the south, some of it. So there might be some good opportunity there, and I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. And so I asked Mr. Rick to come and share that with you guys, because it wasn't an appropriate time in the process for me to let you know all that, so.
I have one question. Is this, the property, does it fall under our current UGB or does it fall under the UGB expansion?
It's currently outside the urban growth boundary, but it is one of the identified parcels for potential expansion.
So this most likely, this project wouldn't be able to start until once the UGB process is completed?
That's right, and that's if you guys determine to bring that land into the UGB.
Okay. Council, questions, comments?
I have a comment, Mayor. I just want to thank you for your role in this, because I hear from everybody that we need houses in Molalla. So I'd like to buy in the future, so thank you for doing this.
I hope to make it a wonderful extension to Molalla. I went through all of you guys' Goal 14 analysis, your employment stuff, basically everything. And I tried to come up with either a way to engineer the ability for every income bracket, from the lowest being $875 up to the highest, and also bring in a section of commerce that'll hopefully produce in between 150 and 500 jobs in the mixed-use commercial plaza, while also bringing, in my opinion, something that's needed for the type of jobs and people that live our way, that's at this time not here, which is a mixed-use commercial section. You can live upstairs, you have your business downstairs. We hope to be able to take one of the buildings and build a commercial kitchen that's able to be rented out by the hours, that we would retain, and possibly even like a cold storage butcher shop, the same, in one of the buildings. And we've got a few other ideas that we'd like to have input from the city council and other, business people in the industry to really make it what it needs to be.
Perfect.
So I'm not just trying to force a model that's for me down somebody's throat. I want it to be a conglomeration of a lot of good ideas, basically. Please respect it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, sir, for coming in. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we're going to do a public hearings for resolution number 2026-11, adopting a supplemental budget in the police station capital project fund. This item requires a public hearing. I'm opening the public hearing for resolution number 2026-11. I don't trust the clocks around here. At
That one's right.
Yeah. 6:09. The purpose of, for those who don't know, the clock in the back is really messed up, so it's an untrustworthy thing right now. The purpose of this hearing is to hear a staff report and listen to public testimony. Does any council member wish to acknowledge actual or potential conflicts of interest? All right. Finance Director Cindy Sharon, council's ready for your staff report.
Okay, so good evening, council. As you know, when we do budget, we're always doing our best guess and our best estimate. And when we were starting the police facility last year, it was right starting it at July 1. So the money that we estimated last fiscal year that we were going to spend, we estimated those balances and they were off. So when the July 1st started, we didn't spend that money yet, and we needed to, so we didn't have enough budget authority to spend what we had to spend. So we had to, it was roughly ended up being almost $1 million that we had to spend than the last budget year that we didn't get to in this year. So it was just a matter of mixing numbers. So, so what this, and it was over the 10% because of the amount. So that's why we're doing this today, and we're bringing you our supplemental, so we have the authority to spend the money that we had to spend.
Perfect.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if I may, does that make sense to you all?
Kind of.
Kind of. So,
It's not spending more.
Right.
It's, we estimate how much money we're gonna spend throughout the year. And in this particular project, the estimate was we would have spent this money last fiscal year, but we didn't. So it was spent in this fiscal year.
Right.
It's the same amount of money for the total project. It just was spent in different fiscal years. And so that's what we're trying to reconcile.
yeah, we had
Right.
projected our ending fund balance at the end of last fiscal year to be 4.8 million, and the actual balance ended up being 5.6 million. And then we were in a new budget year. So it was just a matter of hoping that those invoices came in, and they didn't, so.
Got it.
All right. Does council or staff have any questions? All right. Public comment for this item is now open. If anyone would like to speak in favor or opposition. All right. I'm going to close this public hearing at 6:11. And on to the resolution. For resolution number 2026-11, adopting a supplemental budget in the police station capital project fund. Ms. Sharon, do you have anything additional to add?
Nope.
All right, having held a public hearing for this resolution, we are ready to consider a motion for approval. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 2026-11, adopting a supplemental budget in the police station capital project fund by title only?
I move to approve resolution number 2026-11, adopting a supplemental budget in the police station capital project fund by title only.
Second?
Council Vermillion made the motion, Council Basinius seconded. Is there any questions? All right, Christie, will you call the roll?
Certainly. Counselor Gilmer.
Aye.
Counselor Schenkel.
Aye.
Counselor Childress.
Aye.
Council President Vermillion.
Aye.
Counselor Bartholomew.
Aye.
Counselor Bicinius.
Aye.
Mayor Kaiser.
Aye.
Thank you. Vote passes 7-0.
All right, general business, mural discussion code. Mr. Corthell, can we have your staff report, please?
I'm actually going to refer this to Ms. Davis.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I have the staff report, and hopefully you all saw that beforehand. Today I'm going to be speaking with you on options for creating a mural code here in the city of Molalla. As we briefly chatted about before the meeting was getting going, we don't currently have a way to permit murals here in the city of Molalla, and we have heard interest from both community members, planning commission, and council on this issue. So at this stage, we're kind of in the broad phase. We're looking for direction from you all as council for which direction we should go to be able to permit murals. So we don't have a draft code to bring to you. We haven't sunk all that time into it. We're really looking for your guidance on which way you want us to go so that when we come back to you with a mural code, it meets your expectations. It's something that you feel confident and secure about. So today, I'm going to be presenting to you 3 options for creating a mural code. I'll then open it up for some questions to see if you guys have any questions about these 3 options, and then we'll look for some formal direction from you on what policy direction you are hoping to go forth with. Can I get a slide change, please? Okay, perfect, thank you. And it is behind you, so if you have to turn around and look at it, that's completely fine, I understand. And as we get going here, now you might not expect it, but permitting murals is unexpectedly tricky. Murals fall under First Amendment protections, and this can significantly limit the city's ability to regulate mural content. Previously, cities have struggled with adopting regulations that exposed them to legal challenges, and then they end up in court. We don't want to do that, so as staff, and before my time, Mac and Dan have been researching this for years, and we only recently feel like we have the staff power as well as the knowledge we need to bring this to you in a way that we feel confident and comfortable doing. Like I mentioned, we believe we found a way to mitigate these issues while also providing, the best of both worlds, enabling some content regulation without exposing ourselves to legal issues and challenges. Today, I will present 3 regulatory options for you. I'll then open it up for questions to see if you have any questions on those 3 different options. One of them is a little confusing, so I'm happy to go into it a little bit more if need be. And then I'll ask for council's direction on which regulatory option you would like us to pursue. So at that point, we will go and we'll draft some mural code to your policy direction, and we'll bring it back to you at a later date. Christy, if I could get the next slide, please. So the first option is just no restrictions. This is potentially the most legally secure option. The city would not regulate mural content. And under this approach, it has a very light upfront administrative burden. I will note, however, if we choose to have no restrictions, the city then cannot prevent murals that include profanity, controversial imagery, or messaging that may not align with community expectations. So that's option 1, no restrictions. If option 1, next slide please. If option 1 is no restrictions, option 2 is going to be content restrictions. So under this approach, the city will set rules about what can and cannot be painted. For example, the city could limit murals to certain themes or could prohibit political messaging. Unfortunately, this approach carries significant legal risk. Courts have consistently found that regulating murals based on content violates the First Amendment. And I've included an example here involving a lawsuit involving a mural and a city in New Hampshire. And this highlights how this type of regulation is often challenged in court. Next slide, please.
I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but I got a real chuckle out of the fact that a donut mural caused First Amendment litigation. Anyway.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay, so option 3 then, and this is kind of the most confusing option, it's the easement method. So under this approach, a property owner would voluntarily grant the city an easement for the mural wall. This then allows the mural to be classified as government speech. Because of that classification, the city can then legally apply content standards. So this approach strikes a balance. It provides the city the ability to have some level of content control when it still reduces legal risk compared to just the straight content regulation path. This option is currently used in at least 6 other Oregon cities, and our close neighbor, Silverton, is looking to adopt this method. Next slide, please. At this point, I'll let you know, we brought this to Planning Commission. They recommended the easement method. They felt like that strikes what we are looking to get out of a mural code, and we as staff also feel the most comfortable with this approach. We believe that this option provides a defensible framework and still allows for reasonable content standards. We also are happy to note that it has been successfully implemented in other cities in Oregon. Next slide, please. So at this point, in just a moment, I'll open it up for questions from you if you have any questions on these 3 different regulatory paths. Otherwise, we would love to get a formal policy direction from you on which one of these 3 paths feels the most comfortable. I'll remind you, we've got option 1, no content restrictions, option 2, free any content restriction you would like, and then option 3, this easement method, which is sort of an odd one out there.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Terry.
So with the easement method, is there going to be a cost to the person who owns the building? So I'm going to assume the person owns a building, they want to have a mural.
Sure.
We say you have to have we're going to do this easement thing. Is there a cost for them to do that easement?
So the easement would be with the city, and at this point in time, it's still kind of up in the air. As council, if you chose to have a fee associated with that, that would be something that we could discuss and bring back to you. We believe, kind of on a staff level, that when someone's applying for a mural, that application might have a set fee that would cover the staff time involved with doing that work, so that way that amount of work is covered, and it might just all be wrapped into one. But if you have a different direction as council, that would be something that you could further state.
I'm thinking that you were meaning more like a cost to get the thing going more than an application fee.
Yeah.
Okay, so potentially, but what I anticipate is that we're gonna be able to describe, if you guys were to go the easement method, that we'll be able to describe those very, very easily, just using the building and the location of the building, because I'm not even sure how you survey air. You know, meaning you, so I think just pointing to the side of the building and et cetera will be the description that is necessary for the easement, but we do need to learn a bit more about that
Okay.
before I can give you a definitive answer. It's one of those things like Clarissa was saying, we haven't done a lot of work on going down any of these paths yet, because we wanted to see what path was most interesting to you guys before we sunk any work into that.
I have one question, or I actually have some questions here. What if they don't want to do an easement?
So
What's the city's recourse if this is the route we decide to go?
if this is the route the city chooses to go, there would be no permitted murals outside of this permitted avenue. So you wouldn't be able to do a mural.
Kind of like where we are now.
We're not there. The murals are going up in town and
They're not technically legal. We're just lacking a
Allowing.
code compliance officer at the moment.
I'll copy that. So if we did take this easement route, and I read over this the other day and I was thinking, you know, I don't know, first off, I am not the most artistic person in the world. And I don't know how many on this council are. Also, well, I know 2 people are very artistic. Let me rephrase. Would we be able to commission the BNC to review the applications that would come in?
Yeah, that's really interesting that you mentioned that, Mayor Kaiser. Another aspect of this is that often councils will assign a different governing body to review these applications, and that kind of gives, you know, further removal of this legal body, and it further protects your standing.
And also, and does that by allowing you guys to be an appeal body, so that it doesn't need to go to the court for appeal, it can go to the council for appeal, similar to a planning commission decision.
That way, you know, my thought is when an application, kind of like the planning commission, when an application comes in, it would be something you guys would present at the BNC. And, you know, your group has a lot more artistic ability in knowing what the community, what we need artistically in the community, and you guys are very involved in what the community's looking like artistically, and I think having that level would, besides what they brought up, I didn't even think of that, but, you know, having that level, it keeps you guys in route with what you're all trying to do with the community also, if you guys think that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, actually.
Mayor Kaiser, I'll also add, in my previous jurisdiction, I was the staff liaison to the Arts Committee, and at my time there, we did permit a mural, and I went into planning. I like letters and logic, but it was very helpful to have this talented group of citizens who are so passionate about art to be able to make those informed choices on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at the public easement method, reviewing it, makes the most sense, and I agree with the recommendation. Also had the same thought as Mayor Kaiser with the BNC committee. The second, one question I did have was, what avenue do we have, or what approach would we take with a mural already in place in the city? If this comes through, is there a grandfather clause we look at, or any thoughts there?
There wouldn't be a pre-existing non-conforming situation, because if you have a mural right now, you're non-conforming. So it's not even non-conforming, it's unlawful. So there's no way to have a mural in town right now that's lawful, on the building side, so, you know, generally speaking, yeah, I mean, we could obviously work with those folks like we do with everyone when there's a code compliance issue, but, yeah.
So I have a really dumb question, and I'm probably gonna get slapped later for this. Would that make the city non-conforming on the side of City Hall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just, sorry,
What none of us have done, though, is gone back and researched the decision that was made to put that mural on the
True,
wall.
it's been there
Okay.
forever.
There could have been an exception.
There
made
could
by-
have been,
By the
and we
council
don't
at
know
that
that.
point. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's a good point. So yes, might have been a little too
I-
definitive. Probably.
Councilor Bassinis, you're up first.
Yeah, looking at some of these bullet points that are on here kind of as questions. I really like the idea of having designated zones and kind of keeping it within the core of the community in the business areas. I mean, you could maybe have, you know, an appeals process, of course, you know, for others, but it does make sense to keep it in the city core and where the community is going to be.
And once we get kind of direction on which of these three, I think I'm already hearing it, but once we kind of get it from you guys which way to go, there's going to be a whole collection of other questions that we're going to come back, but these are giving us a heads up on which way to go already. We're hearing some good things, B and C, limiting zones. I think residential limitation is, you know, obviously we don't want murals on everyone's side of everyone's house or, you know, whatever, but yeah, so these are just good. It's very good feedback. Thank you, guys.
I'll let you guys know that that is my next slide here in the presentation is asking for this further feedback from you. So I do have a couple guiding questions, and you definitely are hitting on some of these questions that I was planning to ask next. Christy, would you just flip aside? Why don't we go there now if you have them already? But we still would like a formal direction whenever you feel confident and comfortable. Oh, that's one too far.
We're not ready to thank them yet.
No, not quite. So, I'm wondering, do you have ideas of if murals should be limited by location or size? Do you have opinions on if murals should be able to reflect the business that's inside? And do you have any additional direction? I will note that when we brought this to Planning Commission, they also kind of had that very similar idea. They wanted to limit murals to the specific locations and didn't want to see murals in residential zones.
I'd like to defer the questions to the B and C.
Oh, fascinating.
I mean,
Okay.
if
Yeah,
that's
we'll
fair.
start. I mean, yeah,
I'd like-
we would like everyone else's input, of course, along
Right.
the way, but we've studied mural codes, you know, 2 years ago, right? That's why the comment was made that they've been working on this for years. And I will say that option number 2 is so onerous. I've looked at mural codes that were 8 and 10 pages long, and, well, it's just too onerous. I do like the option number 3.
Me too.
I hadn't thought a lot myself about limiting it. A mural is an property owner's availability to express themselves artistically. So do we want to take that away from people? Or do we, you know, that's something to consider when we think about zoning. The content, as far as business content, again, you have a business owner who may own the building or may just be leasing it. And I know in the past we've had a business owner with a mural up that to me wasn't offensive or anything, but that's something to consider. Are we going for art or are we going for advertising? Two totally different horses right there. I can't think of anything else particularly that we've discussed over the years. How about you, Councilor
No,
Schenkel?
not really. I think the big thing is art or advertising. That's a huge. I'd rather see art myself, but.
Or artistic advertising. maybe there's something like that. When you look at Silverton, I think there are business murals on their buildings. Can you help me with any of that?
The bowling alley is a cowboy.
They're all historic in nature.
Right,
They
that's what I
are
was thinking.
historic in nature. The only business I can think of is the hospital and an old pharmacy, but those are historic buildings in nature in Silverton, so that is different
Right.
than what you're
Right.
asking.
And it's not advertising what's currently there, it was what
Correct.
used to be there.
Correct,
type of thing,
Counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
clear to see that that is an antique drawing. or,
Correct. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depiction. Okay.
The one kind of weird one that might come along, because it's gonna fall possibly in a residential area, is, I don't know, I kind of like to see some sort of, I don't know, not easement, but for the schools. Because a lot of times school
Sure.
districts will have a big building and, you know, they're gonna let the kids go out and paint a mural on the side of their building, but most of our schools fall in a residential area, and so, you know, I'd kind of like that to be an open case scenario. You know, the high school's in a residential, the middle school and elementary are you know, kind of surrounded by housing, so if the school district was to come and say, hey, we'd like to take a building, especially with them doing the new school, the new middle school, you know, I think they have probably some pretty good art students that, you know, could do a decent painting, and I'm sure the school district's gonna be a lot pickier on what goes up on their walls than we would ever be.
Sure, Mayor Kaiser. So sounds like you are interested in allowing murals in public, semi-public zoning where schools are located.
Yeah.
An exception for the schools, I would say specifically.
Thank you.
And, you know, BNC has a committee meeting coming up Monday.
Monday, right.
We'd be glad to take this to the rest of the committee and get some more feedback for you.
We'll endeavor to get a list, a set of questions together for you guys. I mean, yeah, obviously, you can, you know, provide any feedback you've got, but I think if we can help kind of streamline some of the questions, we definitely would
Sure, that'd
want
be
some
great.
answers to. We'll get some-
I was just gonna say, it feels like the experts are right over here, and meeting with BNC committee would be the best next move to get more direction, I think. But that's my opinion.
I think we probably need a consensus for number 3, and then move this along to the BNC on Monday. So, are we all in favor of number 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
There were some good gems in there too beyond that. They were hearing them. So, thank you.
Okay.
And that is one of your priorities for this year,
Yep.
Yes, it
It
is.
if you recall.
One of our goals.
Throwing that out there.
Okay. Anybody else have anything before we move on? All right, up next, Council Liaison to Urban Growth Boundary Advisory Committee. Mr. Corthell, can we have your staff report?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I was all about murals for a minute there. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Basically, the long story short is that our counselor who had been participating on that advisory committee is no longer on the council. So we're looking to ask for a new appointment. That's kind of the long and the short of it, I suppose, is just assigning a new counselor for the one that's no longer on the
When
council.
are those meetings?
They vary. They vary. We schedule them based on, you know, when most of the group is available, because it's almost impossible to get everyone.
So it's mostly daytime, mostly nighttime?
Mostly daytime. Yeah, mostly daytime.
I'm out. Any volunteers? It's,
I couldn't do it.
yeah. A majority of
I'd
us all
actually have a
work
hard
during the
time
day.
too.
Okay.
How much notice typically would you have of that?
Usually we're about, well, we usually set the next meeting at the one we're having, so about a month.
And it looks like the memo states the next one be held roughly late summer.
Yes.
I might.
If I may,
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
while you're stewing that over, Counselor Vasinius, the last sentence here says that council may also elect not to have a liaison to the process. So my question is, what will the liaison offer to this committee that they don't have, or is it met by staff and you're just giving us an opportunity to be a liaison?
The second one.
The second.
It's really just, yeah, if you guys want to have a liaison there, it's I mean, it's advisory in nature. All the decisions come before you guys, you know, as a body.
Thank you for catching that.
You're welcome. So I recommend we just don't have a liaison.
We just don't have a liaison, yeah.
Yeah,
It might actually be
better.
Better.
Could be
better that way for, yeah, so that you guys don't end up, one of you would end up maybe getting pot at for a lot of a meeting or something like that. So
Right.
that's,
Right.
it might be better this way.
Well, you didn't sell it, so I think I'm gonna.
You saved Counselor Vasinius.
Sure did.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your assistance.
Anytime.
All right, moving on. Budget Committee applications. City Recorder Teets, can we have your staff report?
Are you gonna do it or you want me to?
Why don't you start, as I was recording?
I'm gonna start, if that's okay, Mayor
Mr.
Kaiser.
Huff, we'll take your report.
So this one is really a policy decision that doesn't exist for membership on the Budget Committee. We had a previous request like this from someone in the audience, and it was like, well, maybe not. And it has to do with whether or not a married couple can be on the same committee. We got a recent request for the same issue recently from Mr. Klezak. His wife is on the Budget Committee, and we thought, you know what? We need to take this to the City Council and let them decide this issue. And because we have openings on the Budget Committee, and as you know, we need people on the Budget Committee. You don't currently have language in your code that prohibits a married couple partners to be on the committee. You know, as soon as we, you know, somebody might have a problem with that, but the code doesn't say that. So,
I am going to jump in here and let council know that the code is also what we adopted according to Oregon budget law.
yeah.
Go ahead.
We have set precedent on this issue in the past. We've had a sitting mayor, for example, whose partner was also on the Budget Committee.
Yes.
And so it's been done.
Just because OJEC has made so many changes in the past, what are other cities doing? Have we done any study?
No.
I
We
have not, Mayor.
We have not done a study.
No, it actually helps.
Yeah, the issue is that OGAC is silent
Right.
on it. Your current code is silent on it. There may be a city out there who has a provision that prohibits this. I don't know who those cities are where, but it's really your call on the policy. If you're gonna allow it, and Councilor Childress is correct, we did have that situation in the past. One was council, one was budget, and planning commission, I think, if I remember right.
I think so.
And you know, we do have periodic problems getting people to fill positions,
Right.
so,
And this would be a case of both being on the Budget Committee,
Correct.
yeah.
which is a one-time meeting type of thing, could go
More
a
often
bit
than
longer.
not, yeah.
Yeah. Decision made right there, they're not really,
Yeah.
I honestly don't have a problem with it. I'm
I'm good with it.
It's not like this type of situation.
No,
Correct.
you're correct.
Thumbs up?
And I
thumbs
think
down?
sometimes couples argue about money all the time anyway,
Well, yeah,
right?
we do.
Sometimes couples make better decisions working together too.
Thumbs up for leaving it alone.
Thumbs up
Thumbs up
for
for-
allowing a couple or spouse.
All right, so we
Okay,
will make.
thank you.
Thank you. Council will be looking at making an appointment at the next meeting.
Okay.
Probably-
Do we need to do any language change or bring something back to put language in? Okay.
No, I don't think so. It's
Leave
just
it-
one of
leave it
those
vague.
things where, it's better for you all to make that policy decision,
Okay.
and, we can move forward on it.
We appreciate that.
All right, up next, letter of support, South Clackamas First Responders. First off, I am gonna ask Mr. Corfell, could you give a report on what happened earlier this week?
Absolutely.
And then I will follow up afterward with which direction this letter's gonna go.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council. So on April 6th, this last Monday, we met with several members from the Bureau of Land Management, including their state director, deputy director, their regional manager, several members of their press corps, as well as a representative from Representative Bynum's office. And we all took a little had a conversation, then took a little field trip up to our water intakes, then up to the big log jam there. And we had a lot of discussions about that. And we learned some new information that I did put out in a bulk email earlier this week, but for the folks listening, I think it's important to hear. I believe what happened, what has happened is that there was kind of just a communication gap. BLM is not used to working with cities. They're usually way out in the middle of nowhere. So when a city is bringing stuff up like we were and are, I think that they didn't quite know how to handle it, and that we really needed information to start with, and then we would, figure out if that action was appropriate under, our definition or not. And so what we learned is that BLM had actually been up to the logjam on several occasions in advance of this meeting, and probably a few times, but when we all thought they hadn't even looked at it yet, because that was kind of the information we were getting. They had already been up there. They had a hydrologist go up there. They had kind of charted the river and done some of that stuff. So what we learned is that the hydrologists did not believe that there was any risk of that logjam letting go in a catastrophic way. And that even if it should, for some reason, like at a high water event or something like that, let go, that we've got 16 river miles between the jam and our intakes, and in between there are about, well, I'm not gonna say how long they are, but there are two stretches of significant narrows that wouldn't allow the passage of more than a few logs at a time anyways. They just can't go through them. They're just too narrow. So folks who have been up to the corridor, you know where the narrows are. The jam's up above the second set of narrows. So anyways, between what they said about, as far as their hydrologists looking at it and doing that report, doing that analysis, and what I saw, it pretty massive structure. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. I'm not a hydrologist, first to admit it. But it didn't look like it was a cause for concern based on what I was hearing and what I was seeing. The other thing is that they are monitoring it on a regular basis, and they're actually looking to get 24/7 video monitoring up there. They're just trying to figure out how do I connect to the internet, I think is their biggest concern right now. But so they're going up there monitoring, and they'll continue to do that so that if conditions change, that they can change their tactics. But at this point, it's kind of being looked at as one of those kind of natural phenomena that occur. You get a fire, you get an event, a weather event, and the log jam occurs and actually sometimes creates habitat and stuff. Not that we're worried about that, we're worried about our water intake. So based on what I heard, I felt very comfortable, with what they were saying and what they were doing. And I don't know that there's additional action that could be really taken at this point regarding the logjam specifically. So that's kind of what I surmised from the meeting and discussing with them. And I will say that they've already reached back out and, you know, thanked us for our time and let us know that, you know, they were going to remain in constant contact and that we could do the same if anything ever came up, and kind of apologetic for not understanding the communication gaps that the way that they maybe ought to have, but they're just not used to. They're not really used to dealing with an elected body. They're not used to dealing with the city. They're not used to dealing with, you know, the city types of concerns. So I think some of it was just a matter of them learning how to work with the city and communicate better with the city. That's kind of what I took away from it.
Any questions or comments regarding that? Okay. So, as far as the letter goes, which I know you ladies missed last meeting,
But I read the letter.
yeah, and there's been some adjustments with it. Yesterday, Congresswoman Bynum called me and asked how the meeting went, and I explained it to her, and then also said if she had any further questions to get a hold of Mr. Corthell. And she's doing a little bit of research on her end. This letter isn't specific to the logjam. This letter is specific to everything above the logjam and out Sawtell. And so the Congresswoman's doing a little bit of research on, she's interested in some studies being done on the logjam and if it's going to affect habitat or any safety issues if the public goes out and starts crawling on it. She's very concerned about that. She's also incredibly concerned about the condition of the forest land above us. And so what I'd like to do is table the letter for now until she gets back with us with what she wants to research at her end, and bring it back at a time when she has her information and there's a better move to go, and also give city staff a time to work with, you know, BLM, because possibly maybe the communication would work a little better if, you know, we started adding the fire chief and then Colton's fire chief, who are directly affected by this. They might be able to be added to the conversation at a later date, rather than, this letter's intent was to have cities Estacada, Colton, Canby, or excuse me, Sandy, Canby, and then it was gonna go to the Marion County side for them to sign, and then it was gonna go to Senator Girard. Senator Girard wanted to get a resolution, or bill made for a resolution to send back to Washington DC to put pressure on BLM to do more cleanup. So, but like I said, the Congresswoman has asked for some time on this. She agrees with what we're doing, but with what was brought up this week at the meeting, and her staff was there. I can't remember the lady's name.
Olivia Weiss.
Olivia was there from her staff, and so she's asking for a little bit of time before we push this through, and appreciates what we're doing. So, would you need a full motion to table this, Christie? Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. So that would be it, if everybody's good with that.
I'm good with it.
Okay,
Mayor Kaiser, to be clear, we're just going to table this until further notice.
Yeah.
You'll let me know when you're ready to bring it
Yeah.
back.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. All right, up next, staff communication. Cindy, do you have anything to report tonight?
We are just currently working on the budget, getting ready to put it together and getting ready for the next year. As many of you might know, we are losing Susan this year. She's going to be retiring, so
Oh,
yeah, she'll be heading out around August, so might want to say something to her when you go in the office next time.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that's it.
All right, thank you. Clarissa, do you have anything?
Not much, but I think that career day went really great this morning. It was my first time joining that event, and it was really fun to see, you know, the younger side of Molalla. So that was great.
Thank you. Ms. Corthell?
Thank you, Mayor. So our new support person has started in community development, Lisa Case. She's doing awesome, and not a surprise. She's picking stuff up. I mean, you know, much faster than you could have even anticipated. But very, very nice to have her. So You guys will have the community development report at the next meeting. I'm getting her schooled up on how we do that and putting that together and all that good stuff. So just wanted to let you know that you'll have a full report at our next meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Christy, do you have anything tonight?
I do. Thank you, Mayor and Council. The main reminder is that our next city council meeting will be held on a Monday, April 20th, 6 p.m.
6 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Work
we have a
session.
Work session.
Do we have a work session?
We do not have a work
Oh, we
session.
Oh, I thought we did have a work session that meeting.
I thought
I'm
we
sorry.
did too.
Email said.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a
We
work
do?
session.
We did,
and-
we,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
But we don't now?
We did have a work session. We do not. We moved that item into general business at the regular city
So-
council meeting.
I'll go there. He's
So-
gonna say so if I'm an hour late, I'm on time, right?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Okay, so 6 o'clock.
All right. As I mentioned earlier, budget committee appointments will be made at the April 20th meeting. Thank you for the discussion tonight. I appreciate that. And then lastly, for those attending the LOC Spring Conference, I will bring your per diem checks and all of the information that you need for check-in later that week to that meeting. So you won't have to come to City Hall. I'll bring it with me. And that's all I have. Thank you.
C-Mac, she'll bring it for you. You won't have to walk over there.
Yeah, yeah, you can pick yourself.
Yeah, you have to wait till the council meeting.
Fair enough.
Mr. Huff?
Yeah, I do have a couple of things. First of all, I do want to echo what our finance director said, and hopefully you guys will be happy with what she's producing. I think you will. So, look forward to that. We have gone through a process, and as you all know, that we try to work on succession. So we are trying to prepare folks to take over, you know, at all levels of what we do. And we went through an internal interview process because we have another retirement happening in our library.
Oh,
Diana,
I know.
Diana Hadley is retiring at the end of May. So we were able to go through an internal process to interview Becca McCrae, who Diana has been grooming for, I don't know, about 5 years now. So she accepted. So officially, she won't move into that spot until later, but we're going to bring them both to a future council meeting so you can see them both. And you've all met Rebecca in the past, so. So anyway, that's a positive thing for us. And unfortunately, there's some retirements in other parts of our employment base that one happens, next week or something? So it's,
It's people. What do they want to retire for?
I don't know, why did you retire?
I don't know, because I'm working harder now than ever.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the library design. You know, we have been working on the library design. There hasn't been anything interesting to bring you all yet to see, so we're getting close. They will be done with their work, and this is just the preliminary design so that we can use it to go hopefully obtain some additional funding. The numbers look pretty good right now, so that's a positive thing, but before the end of this fiscal year, they will come in and make a presentation to you all. It's actually kind of interesting and cool all at the same time. So the interface with this building is kind of the interesting part. So what else is on my list here that I have my glasses on read? And then, as you all know, I'll be on vacation starting tomorrow, so you can all bother Mac when I'm gone. Which I know you all will, right? Please.
it's a part of that succession.
Friday after.
Putting him in the seat.
There you go. Anyway, that's all I have.
So does that mean Christy will get a lot more work done in the next week?
I have no idea.
I have no doubt.
That came too fast.
See what I have to put up with when well,
Anything else, sir?
no.
Where's your vacation to?
We are getting on hopefully being able to get on a plane and go to Hawaii,
Excellent.
so,
Enjoy and be safe.
yeah.
All right, Councilor Basenis.
Enjoy your vacation, Mr. Huff. Well deserved.
Thank
Hope you
you.
come back rested and ready for round two. Looking forward to the LSC conference here in the very near future. Weather's been nice. You know, make sure you're paying attention for kids out there running around. Days are longer. Watch for bicyclists, motorcycles. People are starting to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather. So please be mindful of your surroundings. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Bartholomew.
Yes, Mayor, I just have a public reminder. There is a lot of gold nuggets here in the city of Molalla, which make our city special, and I just wanted to remind the public that the Molalla Train Park is going to be reopening for the summer on Sunday, May 3rd through Sunday, October 25th. And the hours of the park are going to be 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. So just wanted to remind everybody of that. Also, the trains are operated by professionals, train engineers for that. So please thank them when your ride is complete. That's all.
All right, thank you. Councilor Gilmer.
I have nothing to report.
All right, Councilor Schenkel.
Are you gonna do the cleanup?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, great. I just want to remind everybody, our annual spring cleanup at Bolander Field will be April 24th and 25th from 8 to 4. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. both days. Do not bring couches. And if you bring a recliner, you need to take it apart. You need to have exact change for if you have any tires you want to get rid of. Jason says he's not a bank, so he wants exact change. Let's see here. We'll have, of course, Garbage Goodwill will be there. Jason will be there to take any of your appliances, old mattresses. We have, you know, microwaves that have broken, whatever you've got.
Drug take back.
Drug take back will be on just Saturday, right?
Correct.
Just Saturday, and that's about it. Did I forget anything?
What was the price on the tires could range from 7 to 25, depending on size?
Yeah,
think
I was
it's
trying to
8.
remember
8
that.
to
25.
8.25, I think.
Yeah, so,
8 and 25.
yeah,
All right,
okay.
Councilor Childers.
Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, we need volunteers.
We need volunteers. We need volunteers.
I forgot about that.
One day over the other.
Friday.
Particularly Friday, we're short on volunteers. So if you can spare 2 to 4 hours to come out and just help people get to the right bin to dump their trash in, that's really all that's required. If you're able-bodied and you want to do more help than that, then you can. But this is donated by the community. B&B Leasing donates this day, and the city donates this day. And so it's all run by volunteers. So if anyone has time, they can come out to help. That would be appreciated. Last month was a very special month to me that I have to share with the rest of you. I actually celebrated 10 years being on city council last month.
Congratulations.
10 years. I got appointed to my first 2 years and 9 months and then elected twice. And so I think Dan Huff is the only one here who was here when I started. Just about. Not really, but.
What she's also not adding is that for about 2 years, she was our public at council meetings
Oh, well, that's
before she
true.
was appointed.
No wonder it feels so long.
Yeah.
Been 12 years. But it's been a real honor for me to serve, and I've worked with so many different council people during that time. And it's when Dan and I used to talk not long after I got on council about how we just felt it in our hearts that Molalla was about to turn the corner because we'd been in some dark places. And it's just like, you know, you just feel like when you're getting ready to come around there and accelerate out of that corner, you're ready to take off, and it happened. And we're really thrilled about that. You know, we've got our police station now, and our new wastewater treatment plant going in, a new library eventually coming up, the water intake, just so many things that we've done. And this year, December 31st, both Councilor Schenkel and I will be leaving. So you guys are going to have to find some more women to come because it cannot be all men.
Good
Come
plan.
on, women of
Thank you.
Molalla, step
Yes.
up.
Yeah, women of Molalla, get ready for that.
That's right.
But I wanted to share with you that it was really, it gave me a lot of time to think about how this city that I love so much has grown, and not only with a few more people, but enrichment in the city, and the parks that we have to offer and all those things. So, thank you. That's all I have.
Well, thank you for that story. I learned something every time. I learned tonight Mr. Huff has a heart.
And one
You
feeling.
said it. And one feeling.
Oh my gosh.
Council President Vermillion, segue, please.
Well, thank you. Councilor Childers, congratulations, and thank you for 12 years of your commitment to this city and the amount of work that you put in. I don't know if people really realize that not only on city council, but the committees that you've served on, and the times that you've spent in Dan's office harassing him to make sure he's getting the job done. Anyway, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to also echo Councilor Basinius, looking forward to LOC, and yeah, the weather is better, nicer, the kids are out there, and remember, they're zipping around on these electric bikes too. They're very quiet, they're really quick now, so it takes a little bit more reaction time every once in a while, so be leery of them. Also, Cindy, budget time, and I'm sure your staff is busy. Thank you so much for all that you do. And Carissa, great presentation. Thank you for showing up at the career day. Mac, going on field trips. Great. Thank you for that too. And Christy, thank you for keeping him in line. And thank you, Mayor, for, here I'm thanking everybody, but you've done a lot of work with the electeds trying to keep Molalla safe, for one. With everything that's going on above us, thank you for that commitment to Molalla. I don't know if people really realize the amount of work that you put in outside of city council, contacting and the relationships that he has with other electeds, all for the benefit of Molalla. And it's paid off in so many ways. There's a lot of things he doesn't take credit for, but I'll be the first one to say that he needs a lot of credit with the commitment that he has and dedication he has for the citizens of Molalla. He may not be perfect, but neither am I. But thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Well, thank you, sir. Wow, where do you go from there? First, I want to start off with a little bit of a negative, and hopefully we can get the word down to our police officers. Main Street is getting really loud. We have trucks coming through that are using their Jake brakes with no exhausts. We actually have cars going through consistently that I don't think have exhausts. And speeds have been high in the morning. I'm usually up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there are semis coming through, and they're almost highway speeds. And then they hit their Jakes about a block to the west of me, and my entire house rattles, and my dogs are waking up, and I'm hoping that we can, I'm sure there's other people that are hearing it too. The other bit of a complaint is to the public, and it's been a standing joke that if people don't call 911, they call the mayor. And this week I saw something on Facebook that really, really disturbed me. Somebody posted a picture of a youth in our community with a knife in their hand and said that this youth had been causing problems in the community. Well, first off, posting a picture of a youth doing something wrong, not a real good idea. And then people sharing that post, not a good idea. Second off, this youth, this person who made this post directly complained at our police department. They did not call 911. This youth pulled a knife on another individual. I don't know if it was another kid or adult, but this person who posted this supposedly stopped it. Call 911. Don't report things to me. Call 911. If you have a problem with homeless people, call 911. Don't tell me there's more homeless people in town. Call non-emergency, call the city, make a compliance complaint, because if I get a call that somebody has a knife, you're taking 10 minutes that you could have called 911 and got a response there. And if you think our police are going to take 45 minutes to get to a youth with a knife threatening someone's life, bet me and lose. I will guarantee you those officers will be there quicker than you ever thought they could get there. People really need to start using the resources that the city provides for the safety of our community. I really appreciate the communication that people have with me, but once you've made that call, if you have a complaint, give me a call and complain then. Get the situation handled first. It's just like when you call 911. If this is or you call your doctor's office. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911. I need to put that on everything of mine for people. Start calling 911. Don't be afraid of the city. They got things online. You can file complaints. Compliance officer can go take a look at things. The only thing I can do is call the city or call 911, and get it done quicker if you do it yourself. On a good note, really excited about LOC. There's going to be a lot of good classes. Weather's hopefully going to be great up in Pendleton. I hear week ago, I think it was a week ago, Sunday or Saturday, I had a strange phone call from the president or the chair of the Oregon Mayors Association. I usually do not hear from this person on weekends, and so I first didn't take the call, and then I called her back, and she asked if I was sitting down, and I said yes, and she goes, "You are the newest board member of the Oregon Mayors Association." And I have been working on this for over 4 years of being on this board, and so I was very, very honored, very excited. Not only am I on the board, I'm also again on the planning committee for our conference in August. So I'm busy with that also. So now I go to conferences for board meetings. So, because we have board meetings at every conference. So looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working with mayors in our state. I guess I'm considered a senior mayor or elder mayor in our state now, which is kind of scary that I've survived this long as a mayor. I haven't been recalled. I guess thank you to the community for not doing that to me. So I'm going to be working with mayors as my biggest thing is being a resource to mayors in other cities when situations and issues come along, teaching them to call their city manager and ask for his advice rather than going to lawyers and other people for their advice. So very honored, looking forward to it. There was 2 people selected, myself and the mayor of Hillsborough, and one was 1-year term, the other's a 2-year term, and I actually got the 2-year term. So obviously I didn't scare them bad enough. So we'll see how this goes. So otherwise, thank you staff, great packet was great. Christy, thank you, great night, got a lot done, and I look forward to seeing everybody a week from Monday. If there isn't anything else for the good of the order, I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:09.